What rich person foods actually aren't very good? At about $7 box now, I'll cast a vote for Lucky Charms. Shark's fin. It tastes like nothing. No flavor at all. Even the texture is just meh. The real flavor of shark's fin soup comes from scallops and abalone. Those are actually very good. But shark's fin is just trash. There is a restaurant by my apartment that sells a $2,000 pizza. The ingredients sound absolutely disgusting and wholly unappetizing. Some of the ingredients included octopus squid ink, caviar, and gold leaf. I've heard from some people who have reviewed it that it wasn't very good. Edit. I just watched some of the reviews that you guys have shared. And I mixed up my cephalopods. The first ingredient is squid ink, not octopus ink. Shark fin soup. It's just a symbol of wealth, tastes slimy and gross. Worst part of it is the amount of sharks that are being killed for it and is pushing many species to extinction. Every time these threads come up, I'm reminded that your average Redditor eats like a 12-year-old boy from Minnesota. Brownies purchased at Sprouts. Jamie Oliver's stir-fried rice. Fuck every restaurant that serves Caesar. Edit. Or any salad as a giant uncut wedge of lettuce with the fixings sprinkled on top. The nicer the restaurant, the less prepared it is. Some of you just don't like seafood. Not sure if this counts, but the one Michelin star restaurant I went to charged us an additional €10 each for a green tea. Not some fancy green tea. They put a literal green tea bag in boiling water in a mug where the handle didn't even have a hole in it, so you were grasping to this flat semicircle attached to the side. It's not even how you prep green tea. And the bag itself had instructions on how to do so. Admittedly, the food was good, but given that experience, it makes me wonder just how overpriced the rest of the meal must have been. Shark fin soup is, IRC, basically bland, tasteless, and pointless aside from being a status symbol. I grew up poor. Now I'm not. Totally down to marriage. Prior to money, I would have told to you that rich people probably eat bland, nasty food they pretend is good. I would have been wrong. On the contrary, I've noticed on average that the more expensive the meal, the better it has tasted. This thread is full of people just stating foods they personally don't like. It has nothing to do with being rich people food if you are grossed out by caviar or didn't like a single sip of champagne you took at a party. Some actual answers. Heavily dry-aged beef, pretty funky and cheesy and not for everyone. Also, the industry is full of butchers and producers lying about how long they aged something lately. So it's become a real gimmick. Wagyu can be delicious, but it's often more like steak butter than steak. If you're in the mood for a nice cut of steak, Wagyu can often be way too fatty and so rich you can barely eat much of it. In the right setting, it can be delicious, but only in small doses. Truffles, for one of the world's most expensive foods, pound for pound, they sure are boring. I enjoy truffles, but the cost is insane and it has to be used sparingly. Also, the places that serve sliced truffles over dishes often make them too thick, and a big bite of truffle is actually pretty gross. After reading these comments, I have concluded THST most Redditors just don't really like seafood. Every time a question like this comes up, I think about this cheap place that makes the best ribs in the world. Or used to. It was more than 5 years ago. The place ruined ribs for me because nowhere near me there is anything close to them. Near as in my country. Tried dozens of places. I think about those ribs on average at least once a month, and even sometimes check plane and hotel prices to maybe go back just for the ribs, but it's too much money. Slightly frowning face. Shark fin. Gold leaf. It doesn't taste like anything, it's just there so you can brag about it. I don't get it either way, it just too for sparkling effect and ego boost, I think. LMAO. Kopi Luwak, civet coffee. Dragon fruit is quite expensive where I live since it's imported. It's also super hyped as a health food but tastes of nothing. Just water. Subway sandwiches are now $15 and I nominate them to be considered rich people food. As such, it's not very good for $15. Remember the $5 foot long? Like what? 10 years ago? Lol. Inflation isn't 300% over the last 10 years anywhere except the fast food industry.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.